All right, so Bant Flash. This is an archetype that we've worked a little bit with on stream. I really love decks that play out on the opponent's turn. So cards like Angel of Grace and Frilled Mystic are cards that I really love playing. This build is a little bit different than what we've played on stream in the past. This is card for card, the second place deck list from the SCG Open. I plan to play at least 2 matches with this list before we head back in other various directions after playing. One of the things that we had done in the latest build was we added 4 Growth Chamber Guardian. I was pretty sure that was correct. One of the things that I do kind of like the direction that this build has gone in is that there's 4 History of Benalia here as well. One of the things Bant kind of lacks in terms of like mid-ranger control is good spot removal. So having just good proactive early plays that can trade inside of combat or pressure a controlling opponent is a nice direction to take this archetype in. The builds I've played have more copies of Chemister's Insight in them to generate a little bit more card advantage and be a little bit more controlling, but this build takes a more aggressive slant with these cards plus Spell Pierce, which seems like an interesting way to play the deck. So, at any rate, let's go ahead and dive on in to some matches here and see how it feels. Maybe get a little bit of feedback on it afterwards, after playing some. This deck has a Memorial to Genius in it. The Flipping Greed. Thank you, Juan Kenobi. Thank you very much for shipping me your Bezo bucks this month. There's a lot of great people who give that to every single month here on Twitch. Welcome. It's pretty okay. Perfect. What Linux distribution do I use? Ubuntu 18.04. I help maintain or contribute to a Linux distribution called Bodhi Linux that's also based on Ubuntu 18.04. Stream Decker's probably not updated. I should do that. Not been on the ball today with that. Need to be better. Bodhi is Ubuntu 18.04 Waffle. It's a fork. We don't create things from scratch. Just like Ubuntu is Debian, etc. They're all the same. They're all real close. No, Drew, it didn't actually matter, Drew, because it was impossible for me to both draw Frilled Mystic and draw a 4th land that I could cast it with. So it's actually irrelevant. The reason why I use Ubuntu over something like CentOS or other things like that is that using desktop Linux is already a niche. It's a niche operating system, and Ubuntu has the most support as far as desktop Linux goes. So if you're already gonna like have less support than some other things, you want to have the most support within that generally, in my opinion. Yikes, we are getting run over. I guess I have Deploy plus Warrant here, which could help us raise. Seal Away's a good hit too. Thanks, Morrissey. I definitely know I'm not necessarily the best Magic player in the world, but I definitely think I am in contention for most organized as a title, as far as titles would go. So I think I just seal away here, and then like warrant this back to the top of their deck next turn and try and race them. I do this, the wonderful people of Twitch support me and make this my job, so I do my best to treat it like a job and be professional. The bar is, it is an incredibly high bar. The other people I'm competing with for most organized Magic players are like players who like book flights to Grand Prix without booking hotels and then get capped out without pre-registering. It's not, the Burgle's fair. The competition is not tough. Yeah, that's exactly right, Mojos. If you Google your question with Ubuntu, you're pretty likely to find the answer. You can't warrant while the trigger is on the stack. Yeah, I maintain my website myself. WordPress is great. So thank you for contributing to an awesome open source project. WordPress is super wonderful. You can't respond to Riot because Riot is not a triggered ability. Riot is what we refer to as a replacement effect as the card enters the battlefield. Can you explain why you sealed away the Gruul creature? Yeah, because I wanted to warrant their other creature, and the Spellbreaker has spellproof, has hexproof on their turn. So if I were to seal away the Phoenix, I couldn't warrant the Spellbreaker when it attacked the following turn. So I think I just go to 2 here. And then I'm going to go ahead and deploy. Yeah, Warrant would be pretty busted as an instant. It'd be very, very good. Negate belongs to the deck for pun reasons. I like how you think. If there were multiple replacement effects and you only choose one because no others would no longer, would that be correct? Why does Riot stack? Riot stacks because rules of the game is basically the answer. I don't know. There's some rulesy answer. Angel plus Depose was lethal. Yes, it was. Good call. Good call. Angel plus Depose was super lethal. Thank you for pointing that out. Well, I no longer have Depose now, right? So I'm dead. They go block, 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 take 2 and live. Yep, I messed that up. That was a good catch. If I would have played the Angel when the Phoenix attacked me last turn, I would have been able to tap one of their creatures, and Angel plus a 2/2 would have hit them. I'm dead on board because the Scraggin Hellkite just hits me for 2 damage directly. Yeah, I agree. The opponent definitely played well with the tools that they had. Concur. Spell Pierce is pretty bad here. Syncopate's pretty mediocre too against their deck full of I'm dead to the activated ability from the Hellkite. I don't think this is a mass manipulation matchup. Chalupa, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome. The 2 copies of Deploy in this deck are interesting. That's a card I had cut after testing early in my Bant deck, but the fact that this Bant deck has more creatures in it makes the health gain from Deploy a lot more relevant in racing situations, which is neat. Please put this towards Bant Amulet so it slots in next to Bant Control. I haven't even looked at the list, but we need to have 5 Bant decks in a row. What's going on, Swift? Thanks for the bits. If we draw another white source here, we'll have a pretty proactive start here on the play. Ha! Nice, GC. In Esper Control, would a split of Wrath Settle be decent? I don't know, Nivik. I'm kind of medium on Settle in general, in decks that don't have a lot of instant speed stuff. Alright, land please. Oh. Land please. Okay, okay. That's better. That's better than missing. Settle is pretty bad against Crisis decks. Ramping them up is pretty incredible. So, I think I just want a history here. Climb in general is just a very powerful card. It does a lot for a little, jumping over Clagboard states. JMB, thank you very much for the 8-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. I'm hoping they don't block here. Yeah, because like if they block, I could activate mine and eat their thing, which is bad for them. But I really want to play another history here, which is great. Wayward Swordtooth for the Gatesmere. I don't like, what problem is that card fixing in the Gatesmere, Isha? I feel like if I wanted to break the Gatesmere, I would play more ways to interact with Guild Summit or more mass manipulation. Hey, Johnny boy, thanks for the $15 tip. I appreciate it. Take my money and put this towards Team or Monsters. Will do. I'll be happy to get that added today when I'm done. Real unfortunate we don't have double green here, so we can't Frilled Mystic them this turn. Yep. Alright, this is game 2 and we're down a game. I missed lethal in game 1. Really want to draw an untapped land here so that way we can play Teferi and tuck this and then attack with everything. Perfect.
Let's slow this down.
Yeah, so like, if I attack with all of these, they have to trade for a knight and then they take 6 down to 2 and they're pretty unlikely to win from there. Do I want the extra Shalai in this matchup? She's probably better than the extra Frilled Mystic on the draw. This card's kind of slow, especially on the draw against a more aggressive deck. Excuse me. Wonder if I want Knight of Autumn. Knight of Autumn could just be a 4-3. Is just having a 4-3 good enough in this matchup? It might be, right? Let's put in a couple, see how it feels. It also kills, like, rhythm, which is nice on occasion. Settle is pretty bad in the face of what's it called? The Gruul Spellbreaker. I love this deck, but I only have one Teferi. Is the other one fine just at a Lyra? Probably. You can play another Chemister's Insight too. Chemister's Insight's pretty good, and it serves to serve as a card advantage role for Teferi, which serves for a card advantage role like Teferi does. We actually played an Esper Flash deck that felt pretty reasonable. Is this my list? No, this is card for card, the deck list that made the finals of the Open. Growth Chamber plus History of Benalia is like a good combination. It's a pretty solid 1-2 punch. Can't block here, because if I block, they'll just adapt and eat my thing. Which means they get a free 2 points in, which kind of sucks, but is what it is. They're down to 1 card left here. That's pretty good for us. Lava Coil, deal. Wish they'd have printed Blood Moon. Listen, normally I don't have to time people out for saying stupid stuff like that while we play Standard, but here we are. Enjoy your 10-minute break. You could recommend a channel that mainly does Modern. None that I'm aware of at the moment. There really isn't. It's tough to be successful as a Magic streamer doing full-time Modern content. I do Modern or Legacy every morning here to start, so I usually post 5 Magic Online videos per week or more. Diva does Modern. Yeah, I don't think anybody that streams full time does all Modern DMS. Yeah, MTGO. Yeah, there's a lot of us that do a little bit of Modern. Like I do Modern, Caleb does Modern, Diva does Modern, Sean McLaren does Modern, Saffron Olive on Goldfish does some Modern. But I don't think any of them, unless I'm forgetting someone, I don't think any of us are full time all Modern all the time, which sounded like what they were asking for. Yeah, the Phoenix top deck is really good here. Kinda need to hope to draw a seal away. Yeah, if you go to my website too, if you don't mind watching VODs as opposed to just strictly live, if you go to my website and click videos Modern, there's, tons of Modern videos up there. I do 20 to 50 videos a month. There was a long time where I did a lot of Modern on the channel. So do I Growth Chamber Guardian and pop it up again here and like trade with their Growth Chambers, or do I Chemister's Insight digging for a Wrath or a Seal Away? I think I just want to draw 2 cards. And like try and find a Seal Away to deal with this Rekindling Phoenix. Yeah, Depose taps. It doesn't draw. Do I help with tweaking deck lists? Yeah, pretty much everything I play on stream or viewers submit a deck list, and as we play through them, I give my thoughts on them. make changes, stuff like that. If you're interested in getting your deck on stream at some point in the future, be sure to check out this link here on my website. Okay. I have one Cleansing Nova in my deck, right? So let's draw that. Alright, that's a seal away. That's like step one. Would it still work if it was modern? No, we can't make changes to modern decks in between streams. I've cut back on my modern because brewing in modern isn't very good. No, you don't want to play individually bad cards like Scape Shift. You just want all your cards to be individually good. This is our first match with this list. So I don't know that I really have specific thoughts on it yet. Yeah, so I get to Angel here, eat their Incubation Druid, and then I still have a 5/4 in play. I go to 1, but I get to seal away the Rekindling Phoenix plus play like a Growth Chamber Guardian out. I really want to hit an untapped land here so I can deploy and gain some life back and get some blockers. That was the best draw in our deck, and it's not particularly close. We have one copy of Deputy of Detention, and there it is. Yoink. Why do we need Force of Will? Well, let me just start with, I hate questions like that. The what if we made this like random change to the format? I think it just isn't helpful because it doesn't accomplish anything. It doesn't help people learn. It's not a constructive use of the time to like talk about stuff like that, in my opinion. Why Crab Elf doesn't reveal? It does reveal. I would encourage you to read the card before you ask a question. Reading the card explains the card a lot of the time. Yeah, I agree, Panza. Formats like Legacy, where Force of Will is the combo police, kinda suck in my opinion. They make the formats incredibly high variant because they have matches that only come down to whether or not you drew Force of Will, which doesn't make for very interesting Magic. Wow, were you lucky for once, Matthew? Did you show up and something good happened to me? How I do this deck for best of one? I wouldn't. Heavily interactive decks like this tend to be really bad in best of one because these decks tend to shine in situations where they can utilize their sideboard to the fullest extent. One wet fart, please. Oh no. Dunk, dunk, dunk. Well, when you buy packs in Arena, you get guaranteed wildcards as you open packs in Arena, and you're also going to open some of the cards that you want. So you are in a way buying singles. How are we doing, folks? Welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everybody wherever you're in the world. Thanks for dropping by here today. My name is Jeff Hoagland. I stream full-time here on Twitch. I'm here playing Magic 30, 40, 50 hours a week. If you're someone who enjoys standard best of 3 in Constructed, this is definitely the channel for you. I'm here day in and day out playing lots of stuff. Most of the decks that we play here, as always, shout out to my wonderful subscribers, our viewers submitted deck list. I wouldn't be here day in and day out without my wonderful subs, so thanks to all of them for keeping me employed. I'd also like to give a shout out to my wonderful sponsors. Harry's Razors would love to help you get that close, clean shave using code Jeff Hoagland at bit.ly/HoagleShave. You could save $5 on your brand new starter kit with them. Remember, chat, just because you have a nice beard doesn't mean you need to have a neck beard. Hurley Burley Studio does professional Magic the Gathering altars. At hurleyburleystudio.com, you can find a wonderful portfolio of border extensions as well as full art replacements using code Jeff10. You can save 10% on all of your orders there. Cardsphere.com will love to help you turn your cards into other cards directly to the players. There's no haggling, and they just take a 1% fee off the top. And, of course, inkedgaming.com will love to help you customize your gaming experience using code Jeff12. You can save 12% on custom playmats, mousepads, binders, and bags with them. You can upload your own custom artwork or choose from the wide range of custom artwork on their website. We are heading back on into our next match with this Bant Flash deck from the Open. So this finished second at the Star City Games over the weekend. How many Magic decks? I've registered 61 in paper. I just Google it. I don't know. Google it. You want me to make up an answer? I have no idea. When you're young and dumb, you do all sorts of stupid things. Everybody knows you make mistakes when you're younger in life, chat. I registered 61 cards. I regret my decision now, and I regretted it soon after then. You heathen. I know. We all make mistakes, okay? Don't judge me for my youth. I've grown as a person and changed since then. You better to spend on Rav Packs. Rotation coming up. Whenever someone says rotation's coming up, that's 8 months from now. Y'all have completely crazy senses of time. Yeah, I'd recommend getting Guilds packs, but I challenge your statement, rotation's coming up soon. I think that's just not correct. If rotation's coming up soon right now, rotation is always coming up soon. Never not rotation soon. It's 3 sets from now. There's 2 more sets that get added to this current format, and then 3 sets from now rotation happens. It's forever and a half from now. It was an invitational actually. So in Magic, you can, if you start with less than 15 cards in your sideboard, you can board down to 15 cards. So I actually registered a 63 card main deck and a 12 card sideboard. So post board I could board down to my best 60. In all honesty, that idea was less stupid than registering 61. Yeah, rotation happens every fall for Magic. Every fall. Every October. It's like October 20th. It's like the 3rd week of October or something like that. Any reason why I'm not jamming traditional constructed? Yeah, because I don't care about prizes while I play. And I don't care about prizes while I play, and I greatly prefer to be able to edit decks in between matches. I play Magic Arena with my credit card, so I have all the cards that I'm going to need. Goblin Chain Boy. Yeah, it's probably fine. Looks like the Jim Davis deck here. Maybe some kind of variation of it. Yeah, sub count pays more than any arena pricing ever could. That's the God's honest truth. So, I'd much rather play the game modes that make for better content. I don't know, Matt. I think, honestly, boarding down to 60 is probably less dumb than playing 61 and 15. Alright, double Frilled Mystic. Let's go. the expected value of unbanning Rampaging Ferocodon is not good. If they unban Rampaging Ferocodon, one of two things happens. Either it doesn't do much and is fine, or it's really good and busted, and they have to reban it. And neither of those things end up in a good result for Wizards of the Coast, so why would they do it? Those are the two options. It either doesn't do much and is fine, in which case, why'd we unban it? Or it's busted and we have to ban it again. Just let it rotate out. It's fine. Also, Red Deck Wins had a good tournament weekend. Yeah, you just have to have space in your sideboard, Nivik. So you can't have more than 15 cards in your sideboard when you're done sideboarding. So if you start with 10 cards and you keep above whatever, that's annoying. It's a real shame I hadn't hit a land yet. If I hit a land, I can get this out of Lava Coil range. Yeah, Depose Seal Away is kind of a build your own removal spell, which is funny. Watch them have, like, Chain Whirler plus the Plague Wind for the last two cards here. Which card will I miss the most when rotation happens? Probably none of them, because I'm going to get a nude on rotating format to play. Is that the cop-out answer? That's the cop-out answer, but it's the one I'm going with. Dunk. So they can Lava Coil my Angel of Grace this turn. Hey, what's going on, Me Paints? Hope you're having a good one. Still got a little bit of stream wet. We got about another hour with Bant Flash here. They're going to wrap up the day with Bant Pod. I think new standard's gonna. I think the new format's gonna start with this set. I think it's gonna start with what we're playing right now. Figure it out. Gobble gobble. I agree. Like, this standard format has so many awesome decks in it. So, like, if their new format just started with what we have now, so people could keep playing all the decks they love from this format when rotation happens, that would be a good thing. New non-rotating format. Yeah, I'm gonna be very disappointed in Wizards of the Coast if they include Kaladesh in their new format, which probably means they're gonna include Kaladesh. It would make me incredibly disappointed if they made that decision, so I can only assume that's the decision that's going to be made. Rotation is 3 sets away. I have no idea. I think I need to chump block here, right? Otherwise, they get to spectacle this into play. What's bad about Kaladesh? Kaladesh has a lot of really obnoxious cards in it that are difficult to answer, that don't offer a lot of play and counterplay. So now if they play the Reveler out with Spectacle, they'd have to... How often are new sets published? Every 3 months. There's four Magic sets per year. Syncopate's a pretty good draw here. Worth noting how much better this card is than Quench would be in this spot, right? Like this is much better than Quench because it's still a counterspell. You just have 2 lands under there. That could be sweet, Tidwell. I definitely think that could be awesome. Alright, X is 6 and they'll concede. Much better than Quench in that spot. Alright. Lyra sounds good. Shalai sounds good. Knight of Autumn's actually probably good if they're on what's it called? The I'm blanking on its name on Theater of Horrors. The post-Syncopate Land of Shame. Nothing quite beats the post-Syncopate Land of Shame, chat. It's a time-honored tradition, post-Syncopate Land of Shame. No, Best of 3 becomes available on Thursday. Did they typo Tuesday somewhere? Other people have been talking about Best of 3 today, and it's always been the end of the month. Or Thursday this week. You will likely never see multiplayer introduced to Magic Arena. While there are definitely people who would utilize that game mode, the amount of effort it takes to implement something like that in relation to the amount of new people it will bring in likely is not profitable. What am I doing here? Yeah, Blink of an Eye is actually probably pretty good. Let's play 61 because I'm not thinking about it. Yeah, they have all kinds of game modes. That's true. They cycle game modes actually quite often. Multiplayer explicitly is just very difficult to do. You have to reorganize so much stuff. You wanna see what multiplayer Magic looks like? Go watch someone stream. I think it's Commander Clash Live. Goldfish does a multiplayer Magic Online Commander game. Look at the game state in those games because of how tiny it has to make to fit on a computer screen. It's a mess. What do you think about Deafening Clarion instead of Lava Coil in Gates? I can see that, Corel. It's definitely worse in some spots, but it is better in others. Because even Brawl adds logistical complications. They talked about on one of their dev streams how adding the command zone added a lot of complications they just didn't have time to get through. Everybody assumes things are, especially people who aren't software developers, assume that like writing code is magic and everything is easy. How hard can it be? I don't know. You should never assume it's easy to write something in code you haven't looked at. If you haven't seen the code yourself, you shouldn't assume something's easy to implement. This is a good rule of thumb. I've only been playing Magic for about a week now and I'm addicted. I play Rakdos aggro and Green Red Rhythm Monsters. Nice, IQ. Thank you for the biddies. I appreciate the support. Both those decks are really sweet. Yeah, I think friends list is on their roadmap, I believe. I believe friends list is on the roadmap. Sure. I'm gonna go ahead and depose the rekindling phoenix because I need it to testify. You want find finality in angels, I think. Find finality seems sweet in Abzan angels. I think I'd probably test incubation druid and land war elves too, Zach. Ways to just get out the door faster. Wonder if you had an opinion on the new Living End or Restore Balance decks in Modern. Well, I don't really know what those look like, B-Paints. We played a red-black Living End deck on stream that seemed pretty good. But outside of the one that we played on stream, I haven't looked at anything else other people have been playing. The test for is something playable in Modern is really easy, though. Can a Goldfish a turn 2 or turn 3 kill? If yes, it's probably fine. Is there an updated list for the red-black Electro Dominance Living End deck? If you go to the wrap-up section, I talk about things I would change. This is the Bant deck from the finals, T-Rod. Card for card. Nope. The fact that the audio issue pops up every 3 hours on the on Arena has been like this really awesome reminder that people hear things that are all in their head. People are constantly like, oh, it's the audio issue. It's like, nope, that's just what the sound sounds like. Not the audio issue. I actually don't want to trade this here, because then the 1/1s get to pressure my Teferi. This was a good draw. Get to untap a couple of my lands here, and then seal away this bird. Come seal away. Come seal away. Come seal away with me. Do-do-do-do. Boo-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Okay, so I need to pressure my Teferi a little bit here. See if they want to attack with these also. I would love to trade this for one of these. Snap that trade.
That didn't pan out. Hurry!
Yikes. Well, I have this 5/4 at least. I've got that going for me. It's impossible to know if it's an audio driver bug or an actual arena bug, or if it's an arena bug that is caused by whatever audio driver we're using. Usually Wine aims to be bug compatible with Windows, so if a bug exists on some Windows configuration, it's also going to pop up on Wine occasionally.
Want me to phase you out of time? No time for a break.
Oh, time for a break. Well, I mean, we're ahead at the moment. Hopefully they're due to draw some land. They've only had 4 so far. We're still ahead. Like, they get to kill Teferi, but like I have another one here, so it's like not that big of a deal.
Now what?
Cumulative probability states my opponent's due to draw some lands, okay? Everybody knows that's just how this works, chat. Alright. Alright, we're cooking with gas here. Pretty good one. Pretty good one.
Right on, Sked. You know what? I'm not done yet.
I'm not done yet. We know, Teferi. You're never done, Teferi.
Uncalled for.
Stop drawing spells! Hey, look, we have a land that does stuff. Seal away. Seal away. Yikes. We need more memorials. Hey, this is kind of sweet. Teferi gets to untap the memorial right away so we could use it here. And I can actually memorial and hit seal away this turn since we have so many lands. Make sure this leaves white mana available. I don't think it was going to. Yeah, because the auto tapper only looks at cards in your hand for considering auto tapping, so like it doesn't consider the fact that I could like draw a white card. We have one cleansing nova. You are eternally seal away. We're ready if we draw growth spiral, right? We're not dead yet. I'm not dead yet. So they could technically save this Phoenix by throwing 2 goblins at it. Gosh, Settle would have been so good there. Teferi still would have died, right? Like, they still would have just, like, thrown their stuff at me. I boarded out my March of the Multitudes too because they're a 4x Chain Whirler deck, which feels a little bit bad. It's like I don't have a big bomb to draw to. Not having should there just be 2 Hydrate Crisis in this deck? There should probably just be 2 Hydrate Crisis in every blue-green deck at least. So you have something to do when you flood. Bant Pod's the deck we're going to be playing last today. All the decks in my stream title are ones we are currently playing or have yet to play. As we play decks throughout the course of the stream, I remove decks from the list. It is worth noting too, though, here, if they draw a little bit of lands and we hit a pocket of gas, like, I have Angel of Grace to keep me alive a little bit, so we're not just dead. They allowed sieging to get put under the seal away, I assume, here, because they have the Destroy Target enchantment card. Alright, I mean, that's a blink. Spell Pierce looking real mediocre here at this point. Yeah, March is nice for the end of their turn, that's true, but it just, like, doesn't draw you cards. It can interact with on more axes, right? We're not dead. I have Angel of Grace. Alright, now we're dead. Game 3. Game the third. Oh, I didn't even have Cleansing Nova in my deck. What a pun. Let's remedy that. Board out 3 lands, right? I don't think I want the March. I guess Deputy of Detention is good because it gets rid of all their goblin tokens. Yeah, Syncopate over Pierce doesn't seem unreasonable, especially on the play. Need a couple more cuts here. I'm going to cut these Crushing Canopies. Nah, gaining life in this matchup is kind of like treading water. I'd assume... we've drawn a lot of History of Benalia, no white source hands with this deck. I'd assume Mass Manipulation is for the mid-range matchups that that play big individually powerful threats like Green-Black and Sultai mid-range. Baffling End can't exile the Phoenix. I'd like you to read Baffling End. So I'm going to play Sunpetal Grove on 2 here rather than my tapped land, because if I draw History of Benalia next turn, I want a white source in play so I can cast it. Now we'll play this tapped. This curve should be pretty good. Why wouldn't Judy be well positioned, Wafer? People, the thing I want to bestow upon people more than anything else is that the first weekend of SCG results don't mean the world is ending and the format's decided. Everybody always wants the shortcuts that say, okay, this is what the format means and you can stop working. But especially in good formats like this, there's so much going on and good things you can be doing that's not the entire story. Everything that didn't top 8 the SCG Open isn't unplayable. Everything that didn't top 32 the SCG Open isn't unplayable. There's lots of different things you can be doing that are sweet and fine. Thanks for gaining me 5. I appreciate you. Peace, me paints. Have a good one. If they have a 6th land here, we might just see them throw triple tokens at Lyra. Yeah, I agree, random guy. I think at the end of the last standard season, we arguably didn't know what the best deck was. The opponent is playing something that's likely similar to Jim Davis's Jund mid-range deck that plays Goblin Chain Whirler plus status to get people. Legion War Boss plus Siege Gang Commander is quite the combo. Dun, dun, dun. So if I play this and shock this in, I can settle this turn.
Sorry. Keep up the pace.
Yeah, if you deputy detention a token, all the tokens have the same name. No, the art does not matter. Yikes. I didn't attack with her because I wanted them to have to kill her. I wanted them to spend their turn dealing with my Lyra. If they spent their turn dealing with my Lyra, they weren't adding more to the board and they weren't racing her. So, not attacking with her allowed me to dictate the rate of play. Please attack with Siege Gang. Okey-doke. Alright, well, their Banefires are now a lot better, but their board's much smaller, so 6 in one hand, half dozen in the other. Increases price will drop soon. I mean, all the new cards drop in price as more become available. That's just like how finance works. Thanks, Swift to the head. One wet fart, please. The old Syncopate plus Syncopate plus Settle the Wreckage combo. How do you combat the frustration? If you're gonna get frustrated by your opponent drawing a little bit better than you on average, you're not gonna have a good time playing Magic. Oh, poor Teferi. The difference between a good player and a mediocre... Magic's a really easy game when you draw well. The difference between a good player and a mediocre player is that a good player is going to play well even when they've drawn poorly. Ooh. Ooh.
Hold that thought.
Hold that thought. That's a good one. All right, we might be en route to stabilization here, chat. Gonna stabilize now, yeah. I think they're up a creek without a paddle here regardless. Look at what's happening. I'm like, this Teferi card is pretty good. He's not bad, Burgle. He's playing Modern for a reason. Right. Why'd you have to be a warrior? Why couldn't you have been like a centaur knight? Yeah, no joke. Teferi is probably better than Jace.
Keep up the pace.
Keep up the pace. That's real good. Oh, you know what? I should have untapped 2 lands here. If they wanted to throw a goblin at this in response. Which Jace? Any of them? Well, yes. Yes is the answer. Come on. Come on. Come sail away. Come sail away. Come sail away. Do do. Yeah, Jace has been unmanned in Modern for a little while now. And he did so little, like you wouldn't even realize he's unbanned most of the time. You could probably come back to Modern now after not playing for a while and like go entire tournaments before you realize Jace was unbanned. Because it just did so little. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. Yeah, the same could be said for Blood Rage. You're not wrong. Dunk, 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 dunk. Go. I think they've assembled the combo. They went into full control mode here. And they have so much mana that I can't syncopate them. I can syncopate for X's 6, but they have enough to keep me covered. It's fine, though, because Angel of Grace is going to kill them. Guess who's back? Back again. Jeff is back. Tell a friend. Do 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 do. Boo 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 do 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 do. Such a disaster. Such a catastrophe. So if they throw 2 goblins at Angel of Grace, they don't have much board left. So like, they have to kill Teferi, but they also have to kill Angel of Grace here.
Only a matter of time.
Yeah. I think they're just kind of screwed no matter what they do here. This link should help you subscribe on Mobile Popcorn. Thanks for the support. Like, they're down to like they had their best possible draw there with like Chain Whirler plus status to clean the board out. And like, we're still just like really far ahead. have another Growth Chamber Guardian? I do not. My turn. Yeah, opponents used all their timeouts, and we've not used any. It goes sometimes. So we're trying to dodge, like, second Siege Gang Commander here. Sweet. And then Deputy Detention gets to push this through. Wow, are they gonna kill this now? Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, because I can't monster it right now, right? Alright. Alright, well, we're in top deck mode, I guess. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 extra mana. And I can only syncopate for X's 7. Yikes. Poor Zoidberg. Alright, little deputy. I did not shoot the sheriff, but I played the deputy. Do 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 do. These are graveyard effects. In case I want to set my life total to 10. One more brick, one more brick. Play the land! Play the land! Play the land! Damn it! Damn it! I wanted him to have it again. It would have been so good. It would have been so good! Wow, that's brutal. Woof. So they get to kick this now too? Man, are we gonna lose this game? I think we're about to lose this game. Yikes. That's a good draw. This curve is really good. I wonder if there's a Bant deck that just like plays both of these. I wonder if we can we build Bant Angels? Just like Land War Elves right on up the curve? I wonder if I'm supposed to not take the Phoenix right away there and play Shalai and activate to get it out of Lava Coil range. Wonder if that's the case. Oh my god, I should have... Probably should have sealed that away. Maybe I'm supposed to seal that away. I don't know. I don't understand how you start with Bant Angels and end up where I'm at, because Bant Angels wouldn't even play this card. You just play like Shalai and Lyra. You just like draw a couple of bricks, please. Just like brick by glorious brick. This has been quite quite the game 3. Please tell me you're dead. Yeah, Bant deals would probably be like Resplendent, Shalai, and Lyra. That was quite sweet. Abden could be okay too. Again, if you were listening to what I was talking about there, I was talking explicitly about Deputy of Detentions into Shalai being a good curve. Because Deputy of Detentions is a good card, it's just a little bit fragile, but Shalai protects it. Industrious Revolution. Thank you very much for the brand new Twitch Prime support there. Thanks for shipping your Bezo bucks this way this month. I appreciate that. The year is 20,000. Skynet has taken over using the winnings from the Pro Mythica Extravaganza. It won because you weren't able to defeat it without the best hero of Precinct Shell. I can't keep this, right? Like, this hand just can't cast any of our green cards. Like, it's already got a bunch of lands in it. Paper Magic's just tough to watch, Ornell. Even well done Paper Magic content, like Versus Live is like the best Paper Magic content you can get, and it's harder to follow than Arena. Oh no. Oh no. They've got Gates, chat. Gates, I wonder if the Gates deck is hard for this. I have to imagine that it's not amazing. Game Nights is a little bit different because Game Nights has infinite post-production work done. Live Paper Magic is basically impossible to do something like Game Nights does, because you can't do all the post-production work. I did make paper content and it wasn't very good. It wasn't super popular for a reason. Game Nights is probably the best edited Magic content on the planet, but it is a ton of work to get it to the point that it gets to. Is the paper guy who used to show us the shuffling deck? No, I took a year off from playing Magic Online because, well, Magic Online is Magic Online, and during that year off, we streamed some Paper Magic. I mean, have you ever watched the SCG versus stuff? It's very, very similar to what Loading Odie Run does. Have some Bezo bucks, friend. Thank you, oh my god, Popcorn. Thanks for bringing it back. I don't know what they're doing, but we're definitely not beating it without our third color. $90 hours of content to edit per person. Vomit. That's so much. This is probably a negate and disdainful stroke matchup. Deputy of Detention is funny against Chamber Sentry. I got you, Vander. I think there was a lot of that from new people coming in, which was part of the reason I made that post. The Plains Frilled Mystic deck, just like we drew it up. I guess this tag's Chamber Sentry. I don't know how aggressive their deck is, so I don't know if Baffling End is very good or not. When you watch online chess, they have a generated game while people play RL, so it's easier to follow. You think it's possible to do it with paper Tournament Magic? No, I think Tournament Magic's just going to move to being played on Arena instead of being played in paper. has to be good. I guess that's true. Yeah, I guess it destroys the Guild Summit. Yeah, I think you're right, Bob. I think I should probably have Knight in my deck. Oh, Colossus 2, yep. All right, we are doing it. Slow and steady. Please cast spells that get Disdainful Stroked. There's no spec client, so you have to do it in silly ways. It's almost like the company that writes the software could create a spectator client, Fitzel. Obviously, a spectator client would be ideal, but I would assume that that's on their roadmap. I agree, as is, Arena is not very good for doing tournament magic in, but Arena is also very feature incomplete, and I expect things like that to come to Arena as it becomes more feature complete. We'll get there, I promise.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
I'm not done yet. Yeah, I think the gate deck is pretty reasonable. There was a 4-color gate deck, the top 32 at the Open over the weekend, and we played it yesterday for like 2 hours, and it felt really fantastic. I think I just let this happen and like end step Angel and then Teferi tuck this. That's unfortunate. At least my Spell Pierce is still alive. I have no idea what Gates deck Wedge highlighted. It was like 22nd or something place at the Open. So I'm just gonna let this happen. I'm gonna cash my Teferi into tuck this, and then I'll have negate plus stroke up next turn and just like run them out of the game. Reverse, reverse. Reverse, reverse. Dunk, dunk, dunk. There were chromiums in the Esper deck at the open popcorn. I was the one in top 4 had a chromium. Crushing Canopy beats Krasis and Guild Summit. Yeah, maybe that's right. Get rid of these Depose. Need one more trim here. Game probably doesn't go long enough for March to be good. Can you explain Depose deploy in this deck? What don't you get about it? It's a card that sometimes taps a blocker. The floor on it is always drawing a card. Sometimes it gains you a bunch of life and then makes some chump blockers. Sometimes those 1/1s help pressure your opponent out of the game. It's an incredibly flexible card that doesn't have any blowout text on it, but it's a very flexible card. Syncopate is only good in the early game, but that's why you play it, because it is good, in fact, good in the early game. Just gonna use my mana here. Yeah, I just, like, kind of wanted to use my mana there. And, like, Spell Pierce is the kind of card that, like, gets worse the longer the game goes. I'm gonna go ahead and just play this out as a 4/3, just so I have a blocker. Or, attacker, sorry, to pressure. This deck list is card for card the deck list that made the finals of the SCG Open. So we're just playing what someone else had played. It didn't look like there was any, I don't think there was any Jeskai control on day 2. And there's no real way to know why there wasn't any present. What's going on, John? Whoop. Love tap. Do. To lock, stop, so we don't have to talk with them? I have no idea. That would be a nice feature for sure. I think I just let this resolve since I have Deputy of Detention to take it out. I really need to draw a 5th land next turn, though, if I let this happen. Yeah, that kind of sucks. So I think I have to just, like, pump the brakes now. Yeah, the Spell Pierce definitely has impacted their ability to make colored mana. I think I just have to let that one resolve. This needs to counter, like, a Gates Ablaze or something like that at this point. I think Biogenic Ooze tends to get outclassed by other cards that are better than it. So, like, Biogenic Ooze is a card that's, like, worse than Krasis and worse than Vivian in most of the decks that would want to play Biogenic Ooze. So the only time you're going to end up playing Biogenic Ooze is, like, once you've already hit the maximum number of Krasis and other things. That's terrifying. Yikes. Well, if I hit a 5th land for this Angel of Grace, we might have a chance here. Need to hit it right now. Perfect. And this is one of the ways where the Bant Flash deck we've played before, like, this is just such a powerful line, right? Like, you just, like, have triple Time Walk and just get to run them out of the game that way. That's really funny, because it enters with a counter with Rhythm. Okay. Surely Vanifear decks want Ooze over Krasis. Sure. I agree with you, but the Vanifear decks are, like, kind of meme tier, right? Thanks for putting me to 1. Alright, if they don't have a counterspell for this next Angel of Grace, they should be dead. I guess they could have a Crisis here. Come on. Come on. Trigger. It's really hard to race running Angels, because, like, 5/4s just have so much reach. That's unfortunate. It's pretty unfortunate. That's a good last card to have. I think I have to draw, like, exactly the 4th Angel here. Yeah, Gates of Blaze is a little bit too good. I don't think Settle's in my deck. I don't remember if I left that in or not. Yeah, this has Trample, so. Good Gates of Blaze, good sequence from the opponent. Close. That game was really close considering the fact that we just, like, didn't have lands for a while. No, resetting to 10 costs, resetting to 10 costs 6 mana. Yeah, a couple of people pointed in chat there while I was snacking that the fact that the Hydra came back as a 1/1 to chump block was the thing that won them that game. So they can protect this here, but I want to spend my mana, and getting a creature off the table is worthwhile for sure. Sky Tether has been strong against Gate, Skullgari, definitely a reasonable Skyboard card. That's the one that, like, gives them Defender, right? I don't think that card's very good in this build of this deck. I think in the build that has less ground creatures, that's probably fine, but I don't know that I'm really in for that in a deck like this where I'm, like, hoping to... Well, that's real good. Probably dead. I'm going to do this during their upkeep so they can't draw a counterspell for the turn. They're attacking here because otherwise their Curious Obsession falls off, so deal. Let's try and draw a seal away here. I didn't flash in Angel of Grace and block because they can adapt and make this a 6/6. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's it's a good one, chat. It's a real good one. All right. Love tap, baby, love tap, baby, baby, do. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this now while they're tapped out so I can't get spell pierced. Miser Blink, sweet card. Sweet card. I guess that's a good question. I guess I denied myself 2 tokens by doing that. Yeah, I think you're right. I should have not kicked it and then just like made 2 more tokens. Yeah, it's a good takeaway. Because like this game's pretty close to over, right? That card probably doesn't matter. Yeah, like if I'd have made 2 more tokens, they'd be dead here, right? I'm actually going to use this ability for the first time ever and have it matter. We are, in fact. I went ahead and used the angel from my graveyard as opposed to casting another one from my hand because I didn't want my opponent to be able to use a counter spell to stop me. Was my goal there. Frilled Mystic's a little bit slow here. Spell Pierce and Syncopate are a little bit slow. I don't think I want to fight them on the stack. I think I just want like blockers and removal basically. Yeah, I agree. I was kind of impressed that we managed to pull that out. This is kind of mediocre against the what's it called deck. Maybe I keep it though. It's better than the alternatives. So you can't stop an effect like that with a counter spell. You can, however, stop it with a card like the Simic Split card that counters a triggered or activated ability. Feels really good. Can stop stuff like that. Yeah, replicate. Is that it? Is that what it's called? Looking for a removal spell here. Repudiate. There we go. We know how to words here. Got all sorts of words. We have the biggest words, the best words, the most wonderful words. Spell Pierce B? Nope. Excellent. Good. Get to the Thopter! To the Thopter! Deploy the Thopters! My Raffle Thopter goes swoop, swoop, swoop. Extra digging 6. Yep. Listen, I was born in the memes, okay? Up. I meant to do this during their upkeep. Whatever. Come at me. Come at me, opponent. Oh no! Our essence has been captured. Yeah, I should have done that. Should have done that during their upkeep. I clicked through it by mistake. Think I'm happy with what we have here. Yeah, I guess if I kill one while they're tapped out, I'm then, like, not dead on board, which is probably an ideal thing to be shooting for. This hand's great. I love, it's been a while, it's been a hot second since we've given anyone a history lesson. Haven't done that at all today. You know what they say, chat? Those who don't learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Thanks for watching, Pug of War. Hope you're having a good one wherever you're at. Alright, spell pierce me, baby. Do. I didn't mean actually spell pierce, but I meant think about it, but then don't actually do it. Maybe I'm supposed to do this to bait the counter. Tilt. You were supposed to get a history lesson, opponent. Interaction. Stupid opponents, they're stupid interacting with me on the stack. Teferi's a card because it's a very important piece of the balance that is this awesome format. This format is awesome and well balanced because lots of different things have lots of powerful things to do. How long have we been playing this deck? A little over an hour and a half. This is going to be the last match with it. Gonna be rolling on to Bant Vanifear the rest of the day up here real soon. Alright, I got 2 chances to take this Tempest Shin out. Alright, so we're attack them for 8 to start. And then I think I'm going to blink of an eye, bounce the Tempest Shin first, and then seal it away after they protect it. So I'm expecting them to protect it from this, and then we'll seal it away, and hopefully this gets to resolve. If they have a counterspell in their hand, we could be in trouble, though. And by in trouble, I mean likely dead. So I led on the spell I wanted to resolve less, so that way, if they only had the one piece of protection, we get to actually get rid of their threat. So I felt like the blink of an eye was good enough that my opponent was going to have to disrupt it. And we were correct. Kind of got to bait them there a little bit with the blink of an eye. One could argue I was even a master at baiting. I'm gonna jump block here so I don't get to draw a card. Seems ideal. Yeah, this is card for card, the Flash decklist from the SCG tournament. Another Trickster's pretty good here. Oh, geez. It means the other Trickster means that I don't get another Trickster out of my deck. That sucks. Rough. I was thinking they didn't have removal and I should just do this now. I should have done this during their upkeep. That's a sequencing mistake on my part. Yeah, I should have done that during their upkeep. Yeah, the Trickster was good there for multiple reasons. Yeah, three obsessions in one game is pretty good for sure. Yeah, Trickster's a really flexible card. I'm gonna take their lower power creature out because it's evasive. So I can block the Merfolk Trickster, I can't block the Storm Tamer. What do you say after you pass your turn? You pass the turn generally, you say I'm gonna have effects during your upkeep. Alright, sweet. So the fact that that just happened probably means we're a favorite to win from here. One wet fart, please. I think Abzan midrange? I think Abzan Angels is probably a very reasonable deck. How many Curious Obsessions would you play if there was no limit mono blue? It's probably like 8 to 10, right? I feel like 8 to 10 is probably the correct range. Jeff, I'd like to cut the line for something I brewed while watching you play. Bant Hero. Extras with the giant pile of salty bits. Thank you. Thank you very much for the very generous cheer. I would love to play. I would love to play your cut the line. Let's wrap up on Bant Flash here real quick. That's a good comment for anybody out there. This stream, as always, is powered by the viewers, and if you don't want to wait at all for 10k bits, you can be the very next deck that we play. Otherwise, you could always cheer much less than that and get your deck in the queue and wait. But for those that are impatient, money is always an option. All right, so to wrap on this deck I felt like I got to the point with this deck that I got to with the blue-green climb decks, which was Frilled Mystic didn't feel that good in this deck. So, like, Frilled Mystic felt really good in, like, the more flash-based decks, but, like, as you add more tap-out elements to, like, what the deck is able to do, this card becomes a lot less impactful and a lot more telegraphed. And that's the big part of why this card can be powerful in the right shell, I feel like, is because when you pass with 4 mana up, it's not super obvious what's going on. And this deck felt like it was more obvious when I was doing this. And not to mention, this card's kind of hard to cast consistently in our deck that only has 16 blue. I felt like the Bant midrange package this deck had going on was very reasonable, but this card felt kind of forced in it. Angel is still very reasonable. Favorite Frilled Mystic deck. So definitely the Bant Flash list listed on my website, I think, is my favorite Frilled Mystic deck. I think this deck felt very reasonable and, like, was powerful in, like, the interactions with what it was doing, but this card felt kind of forced and awkward because I didn't have enough other flash elements around it to, like, disguise what I'm doing with it. All right, sounds good, extras. Let's load up. We have Bant Hero. I need a hero to wrap things up. So still get to finish out Banter Day with Bant Hero. And for those of you that are hoping for the Bant pod deck, that one stays in the queue. So if someone cuts in and something gets bumped out for the day, the deck that got bumped will stay in the queue, and we'll likely start with Bant pod tomorrow. This is 11, 15. Okay, seems good. Seems good. Yeah, this is probably not unreasonable. Do you think blue-green climb is something? Yeah, I really like blue-green climb. It's my favorite deck, one of my favorite decks in the format right now. You can find my preferred blue-green climb list on my website. How many blue sources are in here? 8, 12. Is 12 good? Yeah, I guess the blue's a really small splash. It's probably fine. There's going to be a new non-rotating format on Arena when rotation happens. Let me update the Stream Decker and post on Twitter. We'll be on our way. Ranked best of 3 starts on Thursday, is the schedule. Scheduled for Thursday.